Hey YouTube, welcome to my motherfucking opinion, MMFO, the podcast where I give my motherfucking opinion on news, entertainment, sports, etc. Whatever I feel like talking about. No holds barred conversation and views and opinions of hot topics going on in today's world. And with that being said, today is the first episode. So here we go. And I'm going to kind of revert back a little bit because one of the most recent things that's happened was the presidential race, which was big. Had a lot of people heated and up in arms over who should be the president, you know. And I'm really sad, you know, at the state of this country where, you know, when your candidate loses and you're wishing death and you're like, you know, you don't want to be friends with somebody because they have a different opinion of who should run the country, you know. Your idea doesn't have to be the next person's idea. You guys don't have to think the same to be friends, and if you do, then shit, fuck you. You know what I mean? Fuck you. I don't want to be a friend anyway. And that's how everybody should feel. But yes, a lot of people, you know, it's like, man, you can't be my friend if you voted for Donald Trump. And I mean, maybe some of the Republicans felt the same way. I don't know, but I tend to see it a lot more on the Democratic side, you know, via on my personal Facebook or Instagram. You know, I watch people's feed and seeing what they were saying, and a lot of you Democratic folks are real nasty with the way you're like, if you voted Trump, you're not even my fucking friend anymore, you know. And that's crazy, you know. So I mean, to think like that, you know, if our friendship could be divided over a difference in opinion, you know, fuck you, you know. And that's on both sides. So yeah. And second of all, I'll go, you know, and speak a little bit about both Trump and Kamala. And I'll start with Trump. You know, Trump has been a very polarizing figure for the last, you know, what, 12 years, ever since he first, you know, ran for president and became the president of the United States. And even more so now with all his legal issues and, you know, what people think of him on the Democratic side. And, you know, he's definitely been a polarizing figure. And his agenda, you know, Project 2025 or whatever you guys want to call it, you know, a lot of people who vote Democrat hate it, you know what I mean. Me, as for myself, you know, I can see some good things in it and I can see some bad things in it, but hell, that's on both sides. I can see good on this side, I can see good on that side, I can see bad on this side, I can see bad on the other side. But that's, you know, you just go more for, you know, what's in your spirit, more of what's, you know, you believe in, you know. And then Kamala, you know, Kamala had some good things and she had some bad things, but if I'm going to be honest, I think where Kamala lost it is with all the paying everybody to show up and support her. Millions of dollars. You know, Kamala raised more than $1 billion for her campaign and ended up in debt. You know, that's bad. Do we really want her to run the country? You know? I mean, and I was just sad at the fact that, you know, you got Megan Thee Stallion and Glorilla and all these people. You know, is that the representation that we want? Are those the people you want to bring to say, hey, vote for me? You know, it just feels like as the black person, as the black male. It just feels like we're going backwards if that's the kind of representation you're kind of pulling in to get some votes. And it just seemed a bit shallow, you know, like that's not the way you're going to win an election, you know. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. And so as you all know, Trump won, and man, the man came in on fire. You know, he's got all these countries, you know, ready to settle their beefs and stuff like that. Like, as soon as he got elected, now everybody wants to act right. All these countries, you know, they want to speak about peace and all the bull crap that they got going on, which it speaks volumes, you know, that, you know, during this whole Democratic thing, you know, all these people are acting a damn fool. And as soon as Trump gets in now, and all these people, they want to be cool, they want to be friends, they want to stop all the warring that they're doing. That speaks volumes. And I tell you what else speaks volumes, okay? So if you've been living under a rock and you haven't been investing in crypto or any kind of investments, man, when Trump got elected, I mean, hell, I tripled my money that I've had in crypto. So, you know, he's already making the economy go north, you know. So, I mean, you got to give a man some credit. I mean, he's got something about him that makes this country feel safe and like they're able to spend money, because the stocks, I mean, immediately, like that night into that morning, the stocks went crazy. And if you didn't have nothing in there, or if you had something in there, especially some crypto, I mean, you could see that. I mean, Bitcoin almost hit 100,000, you know, and I'm pretty sure, and I'm predicting it will hit 100,000 before the end of the year. So, I mean, good things happening already with the stock markets and stuff like that. And he's bringing in JFK, which I think is going to be a good thing to get rid of some of these additives and that's been poisoning people in the food. Which, you know, you go to other countries and a lot of the dyes and stuff that we use to enhance flavoring in our food, they don't use in other countries because it's known to get people sick, carcinogenics and all that stuff. So you know, JFK is coming in and supposedly cleaning up the food, and, you know, that's going to be good, you know. I mean, it's crazy that in America, you know, for this to be a first world country, our food is just piss poor compared to a lot of places. You know, we got so much bull crap that's unneeded in it, and it's like, why are they trying to kill us off? What the fuck is going on? You know, why can't we have the same healthy food as everybody else? Why we gotta have all this extra crap in our foods, making us fat, obese, sick, and all that stuff? So I think that's a pretty good move for us as a whole on the bright side. You know, no matter which side you was on, rather Democrat, Republican, getting this food clean is just going to be, you know, one of the great benefits, along with these stocks and this money going up. So, hey, I appreciate that. Moving forward, okay? I don't know if you guys have heard or seen a woman named Celestial, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Celestial. She's got a YouTube channel called The Master's Voice, and she had a prophecy that Kamala was going to be the president. And just to touch a little bit more on Celestial, she's a prophetess. So I know if you guys go to church or anything like that, you guys know what a prophet is. Someone who, like, God gives them messages, you know, of future things to come. And so this woman has been on YouTube. Her YouTube, again, is called The Master's Voice. Her name is Celestial. And she has a lot of the stuff she said, like before this presidential stuff, has came true. So she said Kamala was going to be the president in one of her latest YouTube on her podcast or whatever you want to call it. And a lot of folks are getting up in arms like, oh, she's fake and all this stuff, because as you know, Kamala did not get elected. Donald Trump did. But if you listen to her, she didn't say she was going to be elected. She said Trump was going to win. And that somehow that still she would be the president. So a lot of people are calling her fake and, like, you know, damning her to hell basically. And I think a lot of people, you know, if you're into that scene, you gotta pump your brakes, because we don't know yet. We don't know. Trump is not the president yet. He got elected, but I don't think he technically becomes the president till January the 20th or something like that, when he gets sworn in. So a lot of things could happen in between now and then. And I also seen another video of hers, and she was saying that 2 presidents are going to die. And that would kind of bolster what she's saying about Kamala being the president. You know, that would kind of bolster that. And so I'm thinking, like, so if first of all, either or, if Biden died, right? Because Biden is still the president until Trump's sworn in. If Biden died, she'd become the president. But if Trump died before he got sworn in, would that make Biden the default president? Or would J.D. Vance get the nod? I don't really know how that works, but either way, you know, I think people need to pump their brakes on calling this woman some kind of, you know, false prophet until at least after January the 20th, you know. So I give her a break until then. You know, watch your mouth when you're speaking on anything that got to do with God. That could become a very slippery slope. And that's all I'll say about Celestial. And if you want to check some of her prophecies out, go to her YouTube channel, and it's called The Master's Voice. I also think it's the same on IG. And next, guess we'll talk about your boy Diddy for 2 seconds, you know, and the whole conspiracy. What do you guys think about that? Do you guys think he did it? Yes? No? Let me know in the comments. Yes or no? You think Diddy did all those things? You think he did some of the things? You think they're trying to set him up for some reason? You know how they do, especially how they do us black folks. You know what I mean? We get too rich and too powerful. They like, nigga, calm your ass down, and they, you know, spank us and give us a tap. You know, that's how the white folks do it in this society. But so, do you guys, you know, what do you guys think? I mean, with that video of Cassie, that really hurt him when all this other stuff came out, you know. And then they're saying they got all this video tapes of him and, you know, younger celebrities and, you know, whatnot, having sex and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, it's going to be interesting how this plays out. And if, you know, whoever the young celebrities was that he was having sex with, the guys, if they do come out, you know, and this is on tape, and they say, look, yeah, Diddy took advantage of me, I think that's what we're all really kind of waiting for. Like, you know, so yeah, he had the parties and whatnot, but who is there? Someone on videotape that was underage, or someone that was on videotape that could say, yeah, Diddy took advantage of me? You know, it seems clearly that he was doing it to Cassie, the way he beat her up in that hotel lobby, you know. So really can't put nothing past the man, you know. After that, if you can beat a woman up in a 5-star hotel right in the middle of the hallway, you got some goddamn balls. So, you know, if you're doing that in the hotel, it's no telling what the hell you're doing in your own residence that you're having a party in, you know. It just kind of makes sense. And what say you? Also, your boy Dame Dash, man, the way that what was it, New York Times talked about Dame Dash, you know, sold his stake in for the I forget what album it was, but he sold his stake in that album, and the way the New York Times article talked about your boy, called him a deadbeat, like, man, this kind of reverts back what I was saying earlier, how white folks just think they could just, you know, do anything with our celebrities and talk crazy about them. Like, Dame is a very upstanding guy, and you know, we as the black community, we're just gonna let the New York Times talk about my guy like that, call him a deadbeat, you know, and all this kind of stuff. It's plenty goddamn rich white folk that ain't paid their taxes and got backup child support. You know, Dame Dash ain't the only motherfucking one, you know? So I think that's crazy, man, for them to be plastering that all over the goddamn internet, you know, calling Dame Dash one of the leaders of our culture, and just culture period, a deadbeat like that, when the man hasn't had really no bad things out there about him like that, you know. And really, we gotta start holding these motherfuckers accountable, man. You know, these news articles and shit, these big boys, the way, you know, they've been trying to, you know, sometimes blackmail black folks, and sometimes it's true against black folks, but we gotta start holding them accountable for what they're saying about us in our community, like anybody else would, you know, like the Jews do. You know, you say anything bad about any of their folks, and they gonna jump down your motherfucking ass so quick that you're gonna be saying sorry every day for the rest of your life. You know, so we gotta start holding motherfuckers accountable like that too. But, you know, to do that, we're gonna have to come together. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. And so one of the more recent things, along with the Dame Dash, is what did you guys think about the Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight? You know, let me know. What was your thoughts on that? The Mike Tyson and Jake Paul fight on Netflix, streaming. It was free. If you had Netflix, it was on there. They had 64 plus million people tuned in all across the world, you know, shattering YouTube and all kind of records, you know, as far as like viewership and boxing. Like, what do you guys think of that? A lot of people feel that, you know, they got played on the fight, you know, and I think a lot of people who feel like that really don't understand like Jake Paul's fight. Like, his fight is not the fight, okay? The fight are the fights that happen before that. The real fights are the fights that happen before his fight, okay? Now, the best fight on the damn card, hands down, was the ladies' fight. And they absolutely ripped off Amanda Serrano, okay? Because Katie Taylor got her ass whooped and she was headbutting and doing all that shit. And they ripped her off, okay? But those were the fights. That fight and the men's fight, I forget the guy's name. I can't think of his name. But the previous two fights before the Jake Paul and Mike fight were the fights. If you thought you was fucking watching Logan Paul and Mike fight and that was going to be the fight, you're fucking clueless. Okay? You're just a casual boxing person. But the real fights were the fight before. Mike and Jake were just, or Mike and Jake was just a bonus fight. You know? It was a bonus fight, nothing more. Okay? So all you people who feel played, it's nothing to feel played about. You got some good boxing. That ladies match was great. It was fantabulous. The fight before that was great. Okay? So again, the Mike and the Jake fight was just a bonus fight that we got to see. We got to see a legend come out of retirement and, you know, try to KO Jake, because everybody really want to see Jake Paul get knocked the fuck out, and it didn't happen. Mike's legs are goddamn dead. Once he got the ring that first round, and I seen how he was just wobbling, like it looked like he was walking on stilts and with no balance, all knock-kneed and shit. If I knew that, you know, it wasn't nothing, like he couldn't even track Jake down if he wanted to, you know. So yeah, I mean, that was just a bonus fight. And my man Mike got paid, man. He got 20 mil for goddamn 16 minutes. So it's a win, you know. It's a win for Mike, and you know, and I think it's a win for boxing overall. Now where the black eye would come in is boxing has just got to be the dirtiest sport of all time, okay? Because there's no fucking way that 3 judges watched that fight and thought Katie Taylor beat Amanda Serrano. It's just no fucking way. You know? Like, or do all them motherfuckers got like partial blindness, cataracts, or whatever the fuck? Because what fight was they watching where they thought Katie Taylor won that fight? You know? That is a black eye for the sport of that is a black eye for the sport of boxing, you know. And last but not least, okay, Netflix. It was a great showing. It was a great it's a great move for boxing, because I hear Top Rank is getting out of boxing, so you know, boxing is going to be on other platforms and on different stuff now. So, and Netflix, they kind of dropped the ball. You know, my Netflix was great. I had no lag issues the whole night. Like, I had none of that. But I was on my Facebook, I was on my IG, and I seen a lot of people talking about the lag issues, the loading issues. You know, a lot of people complaining about it. Regular people, celebrities, a lot of people was complaining about that issue. And so, you know, I mean, Netflix is going to have to get that fixed, and fairly fast, because they have another big event coming up. Is it Christmas or Thanksgiving? I don't know. I think it's Christmas. But I think on Christmas they got football, the football games. They're going to be broadcast on Netflix. And so that's going to have millions of people watching too. So, you know, people are not going to be happy to be trying to watch their holiday football, and Netflix is lagging out. So Netflix is going to have to get their live feed issues straightened out, you know. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made across the board for Netflix with their live streaming of boxing now, and football, and who knows what else in the future, you know. So Netflix has to get that in order, you know, because sure, it's other streaming platforms just waiting to pounce and, you know, take your spot if you're not ready. So Netflix, get those issues together. And with that being said, I think I'm gonna wrap up this first episode of My Motherfucking Opinion, MMFO. And I want to thank you guys if you made it through the whole video. Hopefully you did. And subscribe, hit the subscribe button, and you know, check me out when I post, you know, my next video. And hopefully we can grow together. And as I get more subscribers, I'll start doing live video feeds and super chats and all that kind of stuff. But this is just the first video, an introduction to me, My Motherfucking Opinion. I'm James. I'm out. See you next time.